Hi there, everybody. It's Amy here, and I'm very happy to be back and to talk about the book today that's all about joy. And this is my dog, Baloo, that is deciding to sit on my lap, and it's far better if he's just allowed to sit here, otherwise, he'll just complain the whole time. So, to begin, joy is not as widely spoken about as happiness. When literally defined, it means a feeling of great pleasure. It's that excitement as you open up a present, the first bite of the decadent cake, and the feeling you get when you hug a loved one after a long time apart. When you look at it closely, joy is the peak of happiness. It's innocent and sometimes uncontrollable, and it doesn't need a reason for being. Although joy Although there is joy in great gestures, we can also find it in the little things. Joy is not as daunting as happiness. It is a little spark of delight here and there that we're not necessarily conscious of. We can create it or be more attuned to it, however. That is what this book is all about. Using the surprising power of ordinary things to create extraordinary happiness. It's written by Ingrid Fettel-Lee. She has a blog and she's a designer whereby she finds simple ways to add joy into people's lives. She's a great author. She has an excellent skill of being able to create colorful, expansive pictures in your mind with the power of words. What she does throughout the book is study what gives us joy and what she does throughout the book is study what gives us joy and how we can incorporate that into our lives. Things related to joy are color, magic, energy, and celebration, and much more. Because the author is a designer, there's a fair emphasis on your home and your surroundings and how it can Because the author is a designer, there's a fair emphasis on your home and your surroundings and how it can affect you. I find this quite refreshing. Often, when reading self help books, the focus is very much on you and your mind. While I do believe that the mind is powerful, it's sometimes necessary to acknowledge that the space around you can help you along your journey. Put it this way, will it be more joyful to achieve your goals in a house or a room that feels cold, dull, and messy, or one that makes you feel warm, excited, and cozy? By taking in these ideas, you can see how small changes can infuse ordinary objects and places with extraordinary joy. With this, I want you to ask yourself this question and maybe even journal. How do you feel when you walk into your home? Or how do you feel when you walk into your room or a place that you spend a lot of time in, for example, your office? If you don't come up with words that are necessarily positive, then this book is definitely for you. When we were young children, we had a natural instinct to find joy wherever we went. Somewhere along the line, we lost this. Let's regain that instinct. And maybe joy is not what you need, but with it comes balance, peace, and harmony. Sorry, Bubby. From this book, I'll be mentioning many ways to add more joy to your life and environment aesthetically. At this point, you may be wondering if your environment is that important and if it can actually add some joy into your life. I'm here to say, give it a try. The author explains that in our humdrum environments, we live with a sensorial hunger, and without any other means to satisfy it, we feed it. In other words, we evolved in nature. Nature never stays the same. It grows, blossoms, and is full of vibrancy. But nowadays, sometimes modernity is achieved and joy is sacrificed. Everything is stagnant. Monochrome is popular because it looks sleek but doesn't make you feel good. We have extensive senses, and if we feel deprived, we try to find ways to make up for it. This could translate to you wanting to eat not because you're hungry, but because you're bored. I don't think it's necessary to go back to our evolutionary ways and live in caves and forests and jungles. We can find ways that are simple and inexpensive to reintroduce energy and life to the world around us. It's about learning to listen to yourself and what makes you happy. The first topic we come across, and possibly my favorite, is color. Color is vibrant, and things that are vibrant remind us of life, growth, and vitality. Maybe you're not ready to paint a giant rainbow on your roof, but take in your surroundings and consider where you can add some color. Green is a naturally calming color. If your office or bedroom seems chaotic and green is a naturally calming color. If your office or bedroom seems chaotic and anxiety inducing, try to add a green pillow, blanket, or lampshade. The environment is naturally sprinkled with color. The natural environment is sprinkled with color. Blooming flowers, leaves changing shades along with seasons, and even more magical sightings such as rainbows and the northern lights. We were not supposed to live in black and white. We were given the ability to see many different shades of colors. Many animals have not been given the same luxury. Let's take advantage of the gifts we were given. We are naturally drawn to color because it makes us feel good on a biological level. You could even try this with your clothing. Maybe you don't want to dress in luminous colors, but what about some colored socks that only you can see? It might just unexpectedly brighten your day. An incredibly joy-inducing and somewhat natural tool is light. The author reflects on a study whereby it's concluded that hospital patients assigned to sunnier rooms were discharged sooner and required less pain medication than those rooms that had less light. There's even a diagnosis, seasonal affective disorder, otherwise known as SAD, by which people get depressed seasonally. Places that experience very cold and dark winters naturally have less light, and many people struggle with this as it interrupts our hormones. If it's ever a sunny day, do what you can to take advantage of those rays. Have lunch outside, walk to work instead of driving if that's possible, or move your desk so that you're near a window. However, it may be the case that sun does not come out as much as it does in sunnier parts of the world. In this case, although nothing is as good as the real thing, we do have other ways of getting sources of light. Light a candle. It's cozy, fairly natural, and you could even choose a scent that you enjoy. Pick up some fairy lights. I don't feel that you have to pack away your lights once Christmas is over. Those little bulbs of light are pure happiness. Similar to light, another way to add some spark into your environment and day-to-day life is to get more of nature. The author shares that spending time in nature decreases blood flow to a part of the brain in the prefrontal cortex, which is associated with the tendency to brood over problems. Many of us may have already noted that we feel happier when we're outside. Being in a forest feels peaceful, and the sounds of nature are utterly calming. I know I would love to leave the electronics behind and live in a treehouse, but again, I don't think that's necessary. I think finding a balance between modernity and connecting with what feels natural is essential. Therefore, we can add nature into our rooms that give us a peaceful feeling without having to live in that treehouse. The author adds that just putting a few plants in a windowless room has been shown to decrease research subjects' blood pressure, improve their attention and productivity, and prompt more generous behavior towards others. If that seems too much, then try to just find pictures of nature. Photographs of a natural landscape, whether printed and framed or used as a screensaver, could be a great addition, or you could even put a leafy pattern somewhere where you spend a lot of time. For my skeptics listening, look into the biophilia hypothesis. It's not just a philosophy, but can be understood as the belief that humans have an ingrained tendency to seek out natural objects, things that are living, or ways to connect with nature. It's a compelling concept and it has shown great success in improving quality of life when used as a design tactic. Again, another question you could just sit with or journal. How much of nature do you think you have in your life and how does it make you feel? Another fun topic to talk about is celebration. We may not be able to celebrate every day, and in fact, that's why celebrations are so special. They only occur once in a while. For that reason, do what you can to get the most out of a celebration. Did you get a new job, reach a milestone, achieve a goal that you're proud of? If you did, then make a memory out of it. Invite your friends and family or even just one special person. Have a good meal, express gratitude, pop champagne, and do whatever feels celebratory to you. Maybe you've sat and listened to this and you've found that nothing stands out for you. It's okay that you're unique and that the big talking points that I've spoken about so far don't exactly remind you of things that bring you joy. In this case, it may be worth the effort to sit with yourself and come to terms with the little things that you like. You could ask yourself, where do you feel most joyful? This may be when you're hiking towards a waterfall. While that may be a little tricky to recreate in your house, you could look deeper and see that water is something that makes you feel peaceful and peace is what you crave. A little water a little water feature could be ideal in this case. Alternatively, what smells do you like? And how could you bring more of that into your surroundings? You could use candles, incense, aromatherapy, or even perfume. Ask yourself, who are the most joyful people that you know? Can you spend more time with them or what can you learn from them? What are the most joyful objects in your house? And what is joyful about those objects? Is it the color, the shape, or the memory that they remind you of? You could even simply ask, what makes you smile? All of these answers will give you clues on how to add some more joy into your life. I really hope that you value your own happiness. Just because we grow older does not mean that we have to lose our sense of curiosity and joy for life. If it makes you happy, then that's a good enough reason on its own. The author explains that as we move through the stream of daily life, tiny moments can capture our attention and turn our thoughts in a joyful direction. These moments can be especially powerful in times of stress or sadness. In a way, we create a little first aid kit for ourselves so that if we go through a stressful time, we feel a sense of comfort all on our own. Add a sense of play in your life because it's good for you. Remember that the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. Learning how to have fun can increase your creativity and overall well-being, which in turn leads to learning how to have fun can increase your creativity and overall well-being, which in turn leads to greater productivity. Ingrid said that small things repeated many times create a burst of joy much bigger than each individual piece could. Just like a single piece of confetti is just paper, but multiplied 1,000 times, you probably have the most universal sign of joy, a tiny display of colorful exuberance. These things may seem small and maybe even unimportant, but the little things do add up. I hope you found this book as refreshing as I did. It feels good to know that you're allowed to give yourself the space to connect with your inner child. You can enjoy glitter and be a productive team member at the same time. Don't neglect the things that you appreciate. Dance if that's what makes you happy. Take an extra moment to watch the sunset and look after the child within you as if it were the most precious thing in the world. Thank you so much for joining me and listening. I really, really enjoyed this book. I think that it's so simple and yet it shows you how to increase the happiness in your life, which is often quite a hard, which is often quite a hard task for many people. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'd be very excited to connect with you.